Welcome to Biggest Geekest. We're your host. I'm Randy.
And I'm Joe.
This is episode 203 of the show, and the date is Tuesday, August 20th. Wow, 20th, 2024.
20th.
Summer's flying by. Beautiful couple of days here in the great state of Michigan.
Yeah, we're more than halfway through the year.
Dude, it's crazy town. Looks like we got some cool peeps in the show here. Martinson, the Ultra American TTRPG, Flady in the house, Larry Elliott, and Arn Man. Earlier, Bo Paints Minis pointed us out to the problem. What's it called? The thumbnail?
The thumbnail.
Yeah, we're supposed to be
typo.
Yeah, the typo. It was 09 instead of online.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
We took the L, right?
We took the L. Literally took it. I love that. It's a good play on words. That's what I told him. We took the L. We literally stole it. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's good to see.
Where did he comment on that?
It's right here in the. I can see it right in StreamYard and on. Also can see it.
Maybe because I logged in after the post, I don't see it.
Oh, maybe yeah.
I don't see it in the chat.
And it was originally in on YouTube where I first saw it, but
there were some YouTube shenanigans because I saw a comment from 5 days ago on a post that I made this morning. Which is weird.
Dude. Oh man, so I was telling Joe before he got on here that I had to go to work this week. It's horrible.
Horrible.
I mean, I've barely been off for like 4 months. This doesn't feel right. I feel like I should continue to be off and be paid, but Delta doesn't see it that way.
You could, put in for sick leave.
Sick and tired leave.
Tired of this place.
Mac Thompson, what's up, Daddy-O? He's coming in waving like a psycho. We love that. Psycho waiver. Oh, did you get any gaming in, Joe? Tell me you did. I didn't get any gaming in this week. None?
Nah. We got a new dog.
Oh. You can only use that for so long. You had her for a while now. Like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. A week.
A week. So you get one more week, and that's it.
That's it.
Then I had a new dog. Doesn't work. You have an old dog.
She's getting easier to deal with.
Yeah.
She's not in here putting her head under my hand constantly.
She's starting to.
She's backing off on that a little bit.
Oh, dude, I am forgetting everything. Larry Elliott says Minders was Saturday. I did play. So, was it Saturday? Oh,
we are indeed 57.
And it was fun. It was a good little session. Yeah.
Fun?
Yeah, it was good.
Who in it?
Huh? Jeff. Jeff ran a one shot for the third time, trying to finish it out. It's based on the Secret World, which is some kind of video game. And there's like 3 or 4 factions, and we were sent on a mission. And it uses the Pathfinder rules. No, 5th edition rules.
Mac Thompson says that you guys have named that campaign incorrectly.
I think we did.
Minders. Perhaps it should be renamed Forgetters, at least for Randy.
Okay, yeah, the Secret World, Mac. I don't know if Jeff was on here. It's a video game of some sort that got turned into an RPG. Yes, it's an RPG now. It's using the 5e rules, and it's not bad, but they're making a Savage Worlds version. That's coming out soon, and so I'm kind of I may actually buy that one. It's a pretty neat world. It's kind of one of those modern worlds where regular folks don't know magic is happening, not unlike the Dresden Files. You play people that are quote unquote blessed by Gaia, and you have the ability to cast spells and do. You like them, Joe, because you're powered up. You get like 2 versions of yourself you can play. After a long rest, you can switch and play like a one sort of fighter or this sort of fighter and do some different stuff. And everybody has spells, and you're super magic-y people. So it's not bad. Even for being 5e, it's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was. Max said Templars rule. Yes. Larry and I proved that with our awesomeness. That's one of the factions. The Templars, the Illuminati, and 2 others. I don't know.
So the Secret World was an MMO. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick and Martin.
Secret World.
Yeah, Savage Worlds. That's correct. Jenny Wren. I don't know if you're new here or not. If you are, welcome. If you're not, I'm sorry I forgot your name. But Savage Worlds is awesome. So, thank you, Patrick. The Templars, Illuminati, and the Dragon. Yes, we had a last time we had one Dragon and two Templars in the on the group, and we had a in the group. We had a pretty good time. It was fun. So, but it's
Oh,
got a lot of crazy stuff going on, and we sort of helped Boston keep this mysterious mist from totally overwhelming it. But we still haven't saved the day yet. So
okay, so I'm going to say something impolitic here.
okay,
Whenever I see uh, in the game art, the leading art for a game, and a woman is in front, my fear is that it's woke. It may not be, but that's the fear. But it's current. I don't know if this would be considered mainstream, but it's current media, so it probably is to some degree.
I think
But
Ultra's right.
it's a knee-jerk reaction. I wish I didn't have.
Yeah, and it's here's the deal. You hear a lot of people now talking about, oh well, you got the woke and then the anti-woke are just as bad. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're just annoyed. It's been years and years and years and years and years and years of that garbage being pushed down your throat. And people now, you want to talk about triggered, just say certain things. But
Right. So depends on the game. According to Mac Thompson, Buffy was always up front, but it's about Buffy, so that makes sense.
it's a different time. If they came out with an Aliens book with Ripley on the cover, it wouldn't bother
Yeah.
me at all.
And okay, it's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the game.
Mhm.
Buffy is a girl, and she's the name, the title, and all that. That all makes sense. Yes, my knee is a jerk. Mac Thompson, but yes, I have the same knee jerks. That's where I just got that thing.
Oh, okay. I do know Jenny Wren.
Yes,
You
you
know,
do.
you know her too. I didn't recognize the name.
Slightly.
Yeah, barely. You barely.
But yeah, I have that knee jerk reaction. I don't really want it. Huh? Are we sure that my knee is a jerk?
That you know her.
That we know her. Yeah.
So I was pretty sure.
I was going to remind Randy, but Virginia beat me to it.
This will be the only funny, probably funny for me and Larry. I'm going to try to relay this when you tell adventuring stories and no.
Oh, the fence part.
Did we talk? I talked about it when we ran the Savage Worlds game online, but basically the first week we caused one. We should have finished this in probably one session, definitely two. But during the second session, the GM put up a fence around a warehouse, and we had no way to get around the fence, and we were just stupid. We were stunned by a fence. This time, no fences. But what's Flady saying? Oh.
Flady corrected us on what he's asking me about.
Oh.
LOL. No, that Buffy is woman. Yes, I am sure. And I'm kind of tired of the pedantic argument. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't. And I'm not yelling at Flady. It is something that's in the zeitgeist of our culture right now, yelling at each other about what is a woman, what isn't, and all that other stuff. I'm really tired of it because it shouldn't be an argument.
No, it's the whole concept's ludicrous.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It's easy to get on the bandwagon and holler at the other side for like, what do you mean? Of course, women are women. Blah 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 blah. It's just.
The smart thing is just not to engage and just say, well, the truth is, here's what you should do in a reasonable world is say no one's ever thought that ever because it's not even a thing. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're weird. We're not debating.
Right.
So
Flady says, just give it time and Hollyweird will retcon it. Probably. I'm wondering if they do that, how much of the message is in the new Alien movie that's out.
I saw Critical Drinker's review of Alien Romulus. He said there wasn't much of that. Some of the characters are okay. He said they tried really hard to throw back to the first Alien movie to get that kind of dark feel, but he was not particularly positive about it. He said it was still kind of not great.
The movie wasn't great, even though it wasn't very woke.
No, he said it was kind of lame sometimes, squeezing in all the lines from the previous movies.
Yeah,
Bruce Lombardo in the house. Bruce is here. That's good to see.
Hey, Bruce. Yeah, the thing is, just because a movie doesn't ascribe to the message or doesn't ascribe to it much, we shouldn't just say it's great. Because I mean, we're hungry. Most of us are for just a movie that is a movie that we don't have to worry about any of that crap. But it still needs to be a decent story, decent movie.
Yeah. Well, he said
Enjoy.
they just didn't. The problem was the script was bad. Because visually it was good. It had a good premise. Script was bad.
That's the problem. That's the problem with Hollywood.
Yeah, that's talent. It takes talent.
Well, there's that. They had a writer's strike pretty recently. This had to have been done.
Yeah.
Fairly close to that, I'm thinking.
And I was under the impression the young girl was playing Ripley at a younger age, but that was not the case. They're all brand new characters.
Well, I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that it wasn't a retelling of the original Alien story, because even though there's no need, of course they're going to do it.
It occurs in between the first two Alien movies, but it's a different thing. But I won't go. Watch Critical Drinker. He'll explain it. It's literally kind of dumb how they get this going, but it's whatever. And honestly, when it comes free on some sort of streaming service that I have, I'll probably watch it. I like Alien. Yeah, I agree.
I like 2 of the Alien movies.
I liked 1 and 2, 3 not so much, 4 not really, though I like that ragtag band of, smugglers in 4. And I thought Prometheus was okay, and I enjoyed Covenant. They weren't really good movies, but I enjoyed it.
I mean, AVP was all right.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be just let's kill everybody.
Well, it was Alien versus Predator. It's kind of
everybody's going to die. Like humans are in the crossfire, so of course they're all going to die.
What's that Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are they going to do? They're going to fight.
They're going to fight. Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But the other ones I didn't really care for.
I agree with Demo. Aliens is the best because it has it's the most quotable.
Yeah. See, Aliens, you can say they're both the best.
Yes, because they're different movies.
They're different movies. Alien is a horror flick in space.
Mm-hmm.
Aliens is an action flick in space with a touch of horror.
Yeah. It's more like space action versus space horror. Yeah.
So you can like them both as much.
Yeah.
And I do.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with Ripley in either one. Being in the front, being the main character.
She was great.
Yeah. She didn't some movies that have a woman as the action hero, they're a man in disguise.
She was not.
And she was not.
She was tough. She was like hard edge, but I mean, understandably, she wasn't in the first one. But she was a little bit. She was in the first one. She was not she couldn't be pushed around, but she wasn't particularly hard edge and tough. But in the second one, you could see why she was kind of tough gal. Ultra American says it was mid, but hey, he's a youngster.
Yeah, maybe he heard all the quotes.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't watched it recently, so maybe its mileage has run out. But
we have quoted that movie. We quoted that movie early days of D&D. Oh my gosh, all the time.
And there's also the fact that with all of the action movies up to now, I don't know how old Ultra American is and when he watched this, how much action baggage he has.
Yeah.
But they've upped the ante on action movies so much that it can be a letdown when you watch it because there's not as many explosions. There's action and then there's drama, and then there's action and then there's drama. It's not like action from start to end. And there's none of the people in it are larger than life action people.
Yeah.
Ripley kind of gets that way with the loader, kind of, sort of, but nobody's larger than life. So it can be compared to a lot of action movies these days a bit tame.
But it's so much better story. Patrick makes a good statement. He says, Ripley, she's the original strong female character who doesn't need to emasculate the men around her to be strong. True.
Correct.
That's what makes it fun. And, Bruce has a good suggestion for Ultra. He says, Aliens is what Bruce watches after basking in the glory of a Dolph Lundgren film. Maybe Ultra needs to bask in the glory of a Dolph Lundgren film. Now, I'd like to find a good one of those, but sure.
Yeah, they're okay.
I like Dolph well enough, but Come on, dude.
One of my favorite roles from Dolph Lundgren is from a bad movie. Johnny Mnemonic. He played a cyborg priest.
Oh, wow.
They called him a street preacher.
Mhm.
And he was funny in it as the, insane cyborg street preacher, assassin for hire is what he was. And it was hilarious. What's another good?
This was his best one. Rocky 4, baby. Oh, that was great, dude. Super.
The movie was okay, but
no, it was not okay. It was awesome cheese.
Yeah, well, I don't think he did a great job acting.
No, but
I
will break you. Come on, dude.
But yeah, most of the movies he's been in are not good.
Oh yeah, any of the Expendables, those were good.
Yeah, he's good in those because he's funny, and he's self-deprecating and stuff like that. Yeah, he can be a fun watch. Scorpion. I don't know that. I don't know that movie.
Ultra's letting us know a little bit about his age here. He says the only ones he remembers that stood in him was the Star Wars prequels and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. Rocky is more of a sports film. Right on. Well, that's just where he's at. I mean, it's a different time. It's
right. and it's a Aliens is an 80s action flick, not a 90s or current day action flick. So it's a different animal.
I looked at it and I tell you, I own Aliens and I watch it at least once or twice a year. I don't know. I can't believe someone doesn't love it. It's really hard for me to believe, dude. It's that cool.
Maybe they got to turn in their dude card or something.
No, Ultra's all right. It is what it is, man.
It is what it is.
Everything. I mean, I wasn't blown away by The Matrix. That drives everybody crazy. I enjoyed The Matrix, but I wasn't blown away by it. So
Star Wars prequels.
Yeah, dude. He was like the
those are standout action flicks.
Phantom Menace and stuff. Oh, he's millennial. That was their Star Wars, dude.
Oh, okay.
He's probably my daughter's age. That was her Star Wars.
Yeah, millennial. Okay.
But
we'll just put it all on the fact that he's a millennial. Millennials don't like anything good.
Ultra's pretty cool. He's gonna get a pass
for a millennial.
He's pretty cool for a millennial. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? He's a millennial.
He's not boomers. We're not boomers either.
No, we are
Gen
not.
X,
we are a couple of years off.
Yes, we are. So.
Zero Infinity Live. I was hoping you were not. You were not a what do you call them? Bot.
Yeah. Cool. Welcome, Zero Infinity Live.
Welcome very much. I saw Aliens when I was a kid in the Soviet Union, and I ran out of the theater when I saw
cocoons hatching.
My cocoons hatching.
Sweet. Welcome, Zero Infinity Live. I don't know if you've been on here before. Mac is offended. He says he's going to stub me at Big Geek Con because I didn't love Matrix.
I like Matrix. Didn't you like the Matrix?
I liked it. I just said I wasn't like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, Neo's doing. I'm like, whatever, dude. Brain in the box, man. Brain in the jar. Get it? Yeah, I get it.
Right. So I read a thread about the Matrix claiming all of these highbrow things about it. And it's a comic book movie. It was originally a comic book. I liked some graphic novels, and this was made by people who like comics and whatnot. And maybe I'm being a little mean when I say comics are not highbrow entertainment. It doesn't mean that's a bad thing, because sometimes highbrow entertainment is pretentious and awful. So,
Bruce has got me. He said, have I seen Dark City? He thinks it's better than The Matrix. I need to watch that. That is on my list. Ultra did like The Watchmen, which I did. Not a lot of people did, but I read the original back in the day and liked it. I don't like the new crap they've done with it. This is interesting. This could be an argument. We probably shouldn't go down this because Martinson's agreeing with Bruce here. Dolph Lundgren has the best Punisher film. And oh, no. No. I like Thomas Jane's Punisher.
Thomas Jane's Punisher was a better movie, but a slightly inaccurate version of the Punisher.
Correct. Now the Netflix one, which
John
Martin's
Bernthal,
just telling me to watch that. Looks like it's right on. So
it's close. So in Thomas Jane, he was just angry.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The Punisher was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had screws loose from seeing his family, his wife and daughter, I believe. I can't remember if it's wife and daughter, wife and son, wife and child get murdered in front of him. Not his entire family, just his wife and daughter. But seeing his entire family just made him a little angry.
Mm-hmm.
So he was kind of
annoyed, slightly annoyed,
low key. He was a low key. I like the movie, but he was pretty much a low key Punisher. Yeah. John Bernthal has probably got it close to right.
Yeah, well, I think I think him and working against Daredevil added a lot. I only saw him.
Generation, those two were good out of the generation of superhero shows that came out at that point on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the first. I didn't see the second season of what was the one about the black-haired girl? She was a Marvel character I never really knew. I didn't read. What was her name? That had the Purple Man villain.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that was decent too.
Oh yeah, I never saw that one.
But she never really grows anyway as a character. I don't think so. I think we should move on to a topic though. It was a lot of
I just want to answer
Jessica
one
Jones.
thing.
Yeah,
Jessica Jones. That would be pretty much his entire family says Zero Infinity Life. Well, except in the Thomas Jane, his father, his extended family, uncles and aunts and little kids and all kinds, like 15, 20 people get killed in front of him.
Oh, and that, yeah.
In the Thomas Jane one. In the comic book one, it was just the two, which I would say would be more trauma-inducing. But, your father too, and I think his mom too. Mother and father, and you saw it coming. I did. I was like, oh, crap, they're going to kill all of them. Oops. But, yeah.
Okay. I want to tell them to do the things, man, and we'll jump into that first topic.
Yes, that's a good idea.
First topic, the only topic, the topic of all topics.
Subscribe, like, and share if you haven't done so already. That's pretty much all the things.
Yeah.
Help that algorithm out.
Yeah. Algorize it.
To suggest our stuff to the masses.
Yeah. So, topic today is top 5 TTRPG discussion topics. How weird, how meta and weird is that?
That is very meta, and I'm going to ask you, how did you decide? Did you just make a command decision on what the top 5 are, or did you do some kind of search?
I did some searching, and I used the evil Chat GPT to help me do some searching.
You're evil.
I am so when I'm at school today, we're prepping and stuff, and I'm like, AI is evil. People are cheating. And then if I got on the podcast, ooh, I love this. I love ChatGPT. So
you could do a whole meme like that.
I could.
People do memes like that all the time.
Yeah, but so I used that, and I did some searching. But I think it was, and I did it 2 or 3 times. Give me top five, and it kept reiterating these 5, some version of them. And this is not in order. It's just. These are just how they came out, and I listed them. And I put underneath them some more examples. But the first one was character creation. Not that it's the most ranked, but as part of this is me thinking about when I watch YouTube and stuff and listen to podcasts, what seems to be happening. And character creation is the thing. I've never been into the character creation podcast or YouTubes, like, the 5 best fighter builds, or make this spell really awesome in your D&D campaign.
Right.
Or what's the best class in Rifts?
They're all about optimization. And,
well, they tend to be. And sometimes it's just about the idea of min-maxing. So, I kind of broaden this. Anything to do with character building. And one of the things that I noticed is that people do seem to, I kind of check some of the number of views. They do like the build game. They like to watch those videos with people, with a lot of people like to watch where their character can be made to be. You okay there, bud?
Yeah, my dog is one of my dogs is getting in trouble around me.
Oh, okay. Yes. Bruce Lombardo at Dick's Division says Chat GPT will take Call of Cthulhu at #1. Yeah, I know that's ridiculous. Chat GTP never played 3 years of Star Wars D6 and gets upset because the prequels were made instead of the Zahn series. F you, Disney and Lucas. Yeah, I mean, I don't take it as gospel, but you have to admit, if you're milling around for RPG stuff, you're going to see a lot of character creation stuff. They mentioned that I talk about the immersive part of character creation, like getting players to get immersed in the game. I don't even know where to go with that. I know the Black Lodge guys talk about more immersive play. I don't know how you make that happen. I think people have to want to really get into it or not. I've seen people play at the table, have a good time, and they're very distant from the story. That it's, they're of the, not just the story, but of the world and getting into character, and they still have a really good time. So I don't know if that's necessary, but I know a lot of people talk. That word seems to be bandied about a lot, especially
Immersion.
in the Black Lodge area. And I mean, I'm with it. I think it's cool to do that. I like to try to immerse myself.
So if immersion is what you want to do, then great. If you're trying to make it out to be some universal standard that we should all try to meet, then you've lost me, because we're playing a game. Games are entertainment, and they are escapism. That doesn't mean, by escapism, that doesn't mean you have to immerse yourself so that you are kind of like, your imagination is so engaged that you kind of feel that you are in the world. I mean, if that's what makes it fun for you, great.
I've had some, yeah.
But it's not a universal.
No, it's not. Ultra says something that's interesting, and I want to piggyback off this topic. He says, LOL, I always go the human knight route in Horde Wars now so I can get that starting 12 defense with the armor mastery feature. By the way, a 12 defense would be insane.
Yes.
So he would be great for how to build a character. I'm not interested in probably anything that's about character creation.
Right.
I mean, I almost never watch or listen to podcasts like they just don't interest me. I can remember back in third edition, we had more than that's our big, let's say, I would say third edition is kind of like in Pathfinder. That's like very guilty of being a supreme build game, and guilty only if you don't like it, or if I'm not even saying it's bad. It's just, that's what it is. It's a sub game. And we had we have one guy in particular, shall remain nameless, would bring characters to CabinCon, and people would swear, dude, he is totally going on the boards and making these characters, because he would invariably bring a character that was the new hot build online. I didn't usually recognize it, but you or one of the other guys were like, dude, everybody's building that thing. And, he didn't build Pun, thank goodness, but that was funny.
There were some close equivalents, at least practically speaking, to Pun, not precisely Pun, where he could destroy a planet, but thematically does so much damage, it's impractical to even have it at the table.
Mm-hmm. Bruce Lombardo says, if you don't buy a VTuber and voice pack in excess of $70 for your immersion-focused TTRPG you play online, you're not even playing. You probably believe in battle maps and love miniatures too. Guess guilty. Guilty.
Very guilty.
No, so do you watch those, Joe? Are you at all into like how to build a character?
I have
it doesn't
watched,
have to be maxing. I mean,
I have watched some of them, but sometimes just the titles turn me off. So like, especially if most of them are concerning, these days are concerning 5th edition, because that's the D&D of now.
Sure.
Soon it will, actually now they're talking about the 5.5 E6 edition, current game, whatever. None of that is interesting to me, because I don't buy anything from WotC anymore. Haven't for 10 years, I think. And
were you ever? Go ahead.
So back in the day when we were doing third, there weren't as far as I knew, weren't YouTubers or video people. It was forum discussions, right? It was threads online where you would talk about optimization and whatnot. Because you probably really couldn't do the 3.5 or Pathfinder optimization builds via YouTube unless you wanted a really long video.
Yeah.
Because the options out there are so vast for that version of the game that it would take a lot more to present, I think.
I know a few years ago, Martinson told me once there was a guy that would he would show you how to build like Captain America in Pathfinder, or build a Hawkeye in Pathfinder, meaning build a character that does those sort of things. So that was kind of a cool thematic. But like if they say these are the 10 best feats for a fighter, or this is the 10 best features you can get in Horde Wars, I'm just like,
yeah, but those are all very opinion based, and from what I've
usually mechanical.
Just
mechanical.
And I'm kind of done with that stuff because they're boring to me. Because my idea of what I want to play doesn't have anything to do with somebody else's opinion of what's optimal. And those videos are almost all 5th edition, so they're worthless.
They are worthless to what we do.
Right. So a lot of these other, as far as character creation, no one's making character creation videos, or that what they'll say is, I'm going to make a 1st edition character.
Yeah.
Right. Also, not complicated or interesting, in my opinion.
There is one, only because of nostalgia, but I like to give a little props to a guy called the Beck Me Berserker. He is on YouTube. He's a Brit, and he does a lot with the basic expert stuff. And he's done like how to create a thief character, how to do that. I haven't watched much of that, but I do find him interesting. He doesn't seem to talk much about these are the best way, because there's no build in that game really, but he's more about the rules of the game, how to make a character. I'm more along the lines Larry Elliott here. And I know, Joe, you're probably not quite here. Larry Elliott says, I've created many characters with random dice rolls to decide most choices. They have been just as fun to play as ones I actually put more thought into. I've done that with a couple games we've been playing the last few years. I love it. Well, you and I did it with the Horde Wars character.
Yeah.
Completely random. And you got a very viable character.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just not the way I do things.
Yeah. So character creation, a lot of character build stuff. It's just not my idea of a fun video that attracts me. Patrick Demo says, if I wrote an RPG that had people making 10 best videos on it, I'd feel like I failed as a game designer. Even if they said the 10 best things to buy this RPG from Pointy Hat Games, the 10 main reasons, that's okay. That's what I'm going to do when you make your RPG. I'm going to tell people that. The 10 reasons you should buy Pointy Hat Games. Mm-hmm. Sweet, arcane, magic, awesome RPG.
Maybe he thinks there's like 10 is kind of small.
Yeah, he probably wants 20. I don't know. I'll do 20. I'll do 20 so Patrick won't get, we'll do 50. We'll do a podcast on the 50 reasons you should buy our friend's RPG.
Yeah. 10 is rookie numbers.
Yeah. That's it. Patrick's tired of the number 10.
Yeah.
He's got to go much
rookie
higher.
numbers.
Rookie numbers. Another one, which of course is, we do this sometimes too, is game mastering strategies and techniques. That's a thing that we've done. We've done a little, but you see that a lot.
Right. So a lot of that, it can be really, that's a very broad thing. And so Ginny D had a DM tips video, and I watched that and I was like, well, this is dumb. Because she included, like safety tips, which, we're playing a game at the tabletop. The only safety tips you have are don't knock over my soda because I'll punch you in the face.
And don't step on the D4s.
And don't step on the D4. That's it. But no, safety tools have to be mentioned, so it's a worthless video. But then some people make themselves out to be, like master GMs.
That's one of the reasons I've been less likely to like really give tips. I'll talk about what I do sometimes, but I'm not as like, because I don't want to think that I'm this, oh, look at this great, because clearly I'm not. You've seen me DM, but I mean, who am I to say? I tell you someone I've kind of reacquainted myself with. Halcyon had mentioned him a week or two ago, and I've kind of been listening to a lot. Have you heard of Seth Skorkowski?
No, I saw him in your list. I have not checked that out yet.
He's an interesting cat. I think he's I don't know. I think he puts on fun videos. That's something else I want to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
What draws your eyes? But I will sometimes watch GM tips, but not as much as I used to. Like
right, because again, it's very opinion based, which is fine because all of this is what I like and what's fun. So that's all subjective and based on opinion. But when so I'm really not in agreement that. Excuse me. I don't know if you heard that. Anyway.
Yes, we did.
You did?
Yeah, I heard the high pitched squeal. Yes.
No. That's my doggy. I burped. Anyway, you'll have DMs that will say, "This is best," such as the characters need to be naked out in the wilderness with nothing and have 1 hit point.
I think that sounds like good advice.
So otherwise, it's not challenging enough. And I'm like, that's dumb.
Well, it's not really. It's actually the best advice. I think DM should do that all the way.
Yeah, you don't count.
But naked in a swamp is what I say. No magic items.
I mean, as a like the funnel, like they do, right? Like the funnel, right? I think we're on the same frequency there, Mac.
Oh, Mac just told me something about him. Is that true? Mac says he's knowledgeable and an author, so quality. Not read his books, but he went hard left on
Different guy.
Oh man,
We're talking about 2 different things. What do you mean by he's?
I think he's talking about Seth. Are you talking about Seth?
Oh, okay.
Boo. Well, I'll see if I can steer clear of that. I don't know anything. Oh man, that's disappointing. Well, I've mostly only watched ancient videos, so like 3 and 5 years old. But yeah, I don't know. That's sad. People, I don't know. Maybe he's learned his lesson. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, you gone, aren't you? Joe's gone on me. So I think one thing you see a lot too in the game mastering is a lot of advice for newbie GMs, techniques for managing players. You'll see that a lot. Now that always catches my attention when someone makes a video and says, "Hey, here's a technique for dealing with this sort of player," or "Here's the players that are, usually cause trouble." I think that's often that will make me at least consider it, but depending on who it's from.
Sure.
Like you said, look, Jenny D, do whatever you want. I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're making money. Not interested. 5e, I mostly don't care. There can be good advice from 5e channels, but
no, yeah, because most of them are like, what's not fun? Missing. So we're going to take out attack rolls, and all you do is damage. And I'm like, well, you're dumb. You don't understand the concept of a game that you can lose at. So when you play checkers or chess, someone loses. In D&D, winners and losers is kind of murky, but your character could die. You could miss an attack roll. You can miss a skill check or whatever. And just the whole it started with the whole fail forward nonsense. Hey, when they fail their die roll, give them something so they don't feel so bad. No, you failed your roll. You failed.
Yeah.
Somebody else you need to figure something else out, or your characters are defeated and you make up new characters. I mean, it's
And well, as I'm saying, there's more of like philosophies, right? So you know some gymming philosophies just or playing philosophies are not for us, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we know who to dodge. But if someone I like says, "Oh, here's like if Double D said, I've got some gaming, so here's how I DM, and I want to suggest this for newbies," I generally like his stuff. I have a feeling I don't know the guy, but I think we'd get along fine.
yeah. So
He
yeah,
seems
that
like a
would
cool
be
cat.
palatable. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes out there that we get along fine with. You know, if Bruce Lombardo, Dick's Division said something, I'd turn it right off. I got no
Yeah.
time for that kind of nonsense.
I would try to get it bounced off of YouTube as
Right
well.
on. Yeah, he would get a strike.
Strike.
How dare you tell me to use miniatures? How dare you tell me to use cool cameras and make a really awesome videos of playing D&D?
Copyright strike. You use the word
Strike.
DM.
Yeah, how dare you? But
He uses GM more.
yeah. Does he? Is Bruce a
I'm pretty
GM
sure.
guy?
So Larry says, because people have been talking about senior home RPG, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But he says that is getting closer to real life gaming because, you know, we're all getting old.
Mm-hmm. That was in reference to Iron Man a little bit ago. He said senior home RPG has you roll every morning to see if you're still alive. Wait, Iron Man slides those in. We got to watch it. So,
Oh, you also got to make a roll to make sure you get your meds.
yeah, get them in the right hole.
You might put them in your nose.
You might.
You might just. So a lot of these titles and people talking on YouTube can be a mixed bag, and some people are going to say that about us as well.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Maybe we're boring or whatever. Like, oh, you like old stuff, and you're old people, blah blah blah, whatever.
They're bigots. They're
Get
bigots.
off my lawn.
Don't listen to them. They're bigots.
Yeah, we're bigots.
What about I don't know. Tips always drive me crazy, and I don't listen. I've noticed at first I used things I'm not doing now, like homebrew versus published settings. I'm kind of like, doesn't do much for me.
Nope. No, because they can both be fun. So why not try either or? And in my experience, nobody just reads from, well, there are people that do. Most people that I've played with, even if they have a module, they put their own spin on it some kind of way. So I know some people will holler about it. You're not creative. So what?
Yeah.
So what? Play with someone else.
Homebrew wins, says Bruce.
Yeah, that's fine.
I say good DMs rule. If you have a good DM, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They can use that. They can use the heck out of that module, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah. The other big one. This is very broad category. It says rules and mechanics. A new way to do initiative. I have to admit, those intrigue me more now than they used to.
That's because you want a speedy game.
Oh, not just initiative. I mean mechanics in general. New way to generate a player character in Savage Worlds, or
new way to do it to hit roll.
Yeah.
Don't do it to hit roll. Just do damage.
Yeah. Don't do damage.
You know there were several of those out at the same time.
Oh, that's still you're still seeing it, dude.
Yeah.
Why are you still using hit points? Why are you still doing damage?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why are you still playing a game?
Represent real life. Well, this is a freaking game, you weirdo.
I think tell me, Joe. He says, Bruce says, pick up the free version of Hackmaster. Don't I have? Isn't those books we bought a while back? Aren't those Are those 5e Hackmaster?
I believe so.
I think I have all of them. I have the core books.
I think they have a downloadable, I
think I have it. Basic
down version, basic version.
Basic hacking, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. So, a real famous one back in the day was Raw versus RAI versus Rule of Cool.
Rule of Cool is freaking annoying because okay, we play a game.
I know.
So Rule of Cool is all right if used sparingly.
Yes, I agree. I was going to say, and you got to have the right. It can't be if you use it too much. People are just, it should be cool to do. It would be cool if I hit all the time. Oh, so we're not rolling to hit. That's where that comes from.
Yeah, it would be cool if my fighter could now cast spells all of a sudden.
Oh, Larry Elliott, he's got to run.
No, you don't. You're not.
No, you don't.
You're going to walk.
You're going to walk, you liar.
Or drive. Probably going to drive.
Yeah. I guess I like when there's like, if there's reviews of or comparison of different role playing game systems. Sometimes like the fear mechanic in Mothership versus Aliens, the RPG. I do kind of like those things when people compare two systems.
Sure.
That's kind of fun.
I watched the fellow when he was talking about non-fantasy. He's the guy who does all the non-fantasy.
Who's that?
YouTube. I can't remember his name. You recommended him to me. And he talks about a lot of tabletop RPGs. None of them are fantasy. He goes out of his way to say it's a black fella.
The Elite RPG.
Yeah, Elite. I thought that. Hopefully, that's just him being funny because that's kind of pretentious.
Our man says I haven't watched other RPG. Well, he is RPG Elite, so I haven't watched other RPG channels in quite some time now. Of course not. You've got us.
Right.
I got tired of hearing how I do it all wrong. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I don't know. Are you intrigued by mechanics videos when they talk about level system versus skill system or spells? How to think about spells in D&D differently?
I used to be, but they're all the same.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
So
same as before.
Yeah, there's so many that just say the same thing. Like this one guy, he says, "Hey, let's talk about armor class." And he has 5 videos talking about armor class, and they all say the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I watched some guy recently was like the four or 5 different RPG systems, D20, dice pool. What else did he say? Dice pool. What else am I forgetting? Percentile and something else. And I was like, and then he proceeded to talk. Well, except for this. This is kind of this, but not. This is kind of this, but not. And I'm like, there's not just 4, dude.
You're right.
I mean, you can categorize. You could say dice pools, and you could put a lot of RPGs.
Sure.
You could say
a pretty
D20.
broad category.
Yeah, and do the same thing. I'm starting to do this more now. Ultra RPG says, the Ultra American. I end up following a lot of different RPG channels and podcasts, which I end up unfollowing half the time. After a while, mostly because they bore me. Yeah. Very, very. Hey, Ryan at Aqualith Media. Good to see you, bud.
Hello, Ryan. The same thing here. It's like TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched a TV show in a long time because of the way Hollywood is. But back in the day, you watch 5 episodes of your typical TV show. And you're done. Because everyone's a rinse and repeat. There's some exceptions, but broadly speaking, you can watch 5 episodes of a show and be done, and you're not going to really miss anything.
I think I mentioned last week I'm almost done with Evil. It's got 4 seasons. It actually finishes this Thursday on actual being broadcast, and it's gotten more and more woke and not just. It hit the other night. I watched an episode and I was like, just gritting my teeth, and I'm like, I will never watch it again. I love the premise at first, and I will give it as the quirkiest show I've seen in a long time. It's really a weird little show, and I want to think the writers are like going somewhere cool, but I think they're gonna end up pulling a J.J. Abrams and just showing a lot of weird stuff, and nothing ever makes sense.
Oh,
he just look at this cool thing, look at that cool thing,
and then nothing ever comes of it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. Patrick said this, and I don't know. You agree with this? And he and Iron Man both. He said Iron Man has an excellent point. Most RPG channels have nothing but video after video of you're doing gaming wrong. Right, Mac. I agree. He says Evil is almost a great series, if not for the woke DEI horse crap they keep slipping in, or the subtle dig. At Catholicism, which they do completely wrong. Last night, I won't go into it.
Caricature.
I'm not a Catholic, dude. I told my wife, I said, they would never believe that. That's a heresy. That's a bullcrap statement. It was unbelievable. So I'm not a Catholic. So that is no way.
It's kind of like when the whole Dan Brown, what was the big thing he thought was so revealing about Christianity?
The book.
Can't remember the name of the
Da Vinci
book.
Code.
Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
It ended up saying, hold on a second.
Yep. Yeah, Da Vinci Code was dog poop movie. I mean, it was nice make believe. Oh, we skipped that. Dang, we skipped it, Joe. Bruce says, but Mac Thompson, how will we ever measure up to the coolness of JSG? He's trying to get that next tier of YouTube influence to get good boy points, pats from the Wokies at Watsy. Oh, Bruce just reminded me, we just skipped over the JSG thing. Well, maybe we'll mention that at the end.
Right, we could do that. So yeah, so the Da Vinci Code big reveal was Christ was married, which he wasn't.
He was not.
In the scripture, there's no conspiracy to hide it. It was not. It's not a biblical thing. It's dumb.
Yeah. Of course, you can't mention these days, and this is more modern. Another big topic besides rules is actual play podcast and streams.
Right. So we've dipped our toes in that a little bit.
We just play.
We just play and let people watch. Right. We're not. It's not scripted or anything, and we're not doing any weird camera changes, graphics, or anything besides. We play and let people watch.
No crazy miniatures with the camera just for the miniatures where you move them around. No playing for 8 hours like certain people.
Right.
Right on, Bruce. But yeah, you know how many of those I watch?
Yeah. I try.
I force myself because I feel like I have to listen to our shows.
Yeah.
It was hard. That was the hard. And most fun was listening to us goof off during the play. But I was like, the more I listened to them, like, who would, no, people don't take this the wrong way. Who wants to watch us play D&D? I'm just like, I don't get it.
I thought my wife was talking to me. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. So ignore her now. You're on the show. She gets ignored. Bruce says, Ashikaka, how will you ever have a campaign that go past 17th level? I don't know, but I need to figure out a way. That is definitely something I want to happen like yesterday. And I think I'm going to base on having 2 experience points to level.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. For a little while, then it'll get boring.
Yeah, we'll get boring, yeah. But yeah, with those sort of shows, there's literally nothing about those shows that interests me. If we're doing it, I'm interested because I'm playing, but and I don't care if someone likes to watch, but I guess I just don't understand it. Now, with Critical Role and those sorts of people, I get it because they're putting on a show. They're serious actors.
Right.
Bruce says, I don't know why my friends watch us play, but we have good people. Yeah, right on, dude. I think it's great that they do. I catch you guys every now and again. I don't mind. Mac Thompson says, I think he's joking, but I hope it's true.
He winks.
Oh, man. He has a 31st level assassin, 29th level cleric. He needs to play that dude.
Yeah.
Ryan at Aqualith Media is like me. I can't listen to live plays either. I've been in one, but can't get myself to go back and watch. The only reason I'd listen is to get an impression of how a game is played. And I have no ill feelings toward anybody. And if we ever do a live play, you should watch us. But I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So those are a big pass for me.
So a long time ago, before I knew anything about Wesley Crusher. What was his real name?
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, being a douchebag. So he had a show called Tabletop. And the interesting thing about it was that it showed how various games played. Now, he did an RPG version. It sucked. Where he ran an RPG that he made, and it was really bad. And not all of the episodes of Tabletop, I didn't watch all of them, but most of them were okay, and some of them were like, okay, you could have made this in half the time. But the interesting thing is it showed different games that had different types of gameplay and how they could be played. And I thought that was cool. But they were short. They were like a half hour.
I think like showing someone how to play a board game or a card game, especially like our buddy Patrick loves the games with 7,000 expansions and 1 million tokens and stuff. He's the master board game player. But I mean, me, I'm just like, I get completely thrown off by that. But it's neat once you know it. I mean, and so I could see somebody wanting to watch that.
So why don't you talk to the people about J. Scott Garibay while I take one of my dogs out?
Okay, Joe is going to take his puppies out, and and I want to talk about JSG. And I watched the video last week that Double D at Diversity and Dragons did, and he spent a portion of it on J. Scott Garibay going on and on about some goofy word, infantilization or something. I'm not trying to rehash it. Double D did a good job on it. But the thing that struck me, and Joe will have it linked, is J. Scott was talking like he continued his crazy talk, and then he went down a road where he got super emotional. And Double D and the guys made a good point. If he's not the king of all trolls, if he's not that, then JSG probably needs some help. I hope somebody out there, as Double D said, can get to that guy and help him out, because he didn't look good. He looked like somebody that was, I don't know, way too into that. So, yeah, I agree. Patrick said, I actually worry about Garibay. His rants sound like a psychotic break. It could be. Yeah, yeah, Mac, I get it. Mac Thompson says, of course he needs help. Have you seen his videos? Yes, I have. Sometimes it just seemed like he's a goofball, but this one that Double D showed was definitely, it was a step beyond even some of the ones he did before. But I'll grant you, there's a handful that would make you go, what's going on? But I was like, man, this guy, I think he needs some help. And I don't think he's ever going to. I think Bruce, what did Bruce say a little bit about him? He made a comment. Not that Bruce would comment very much. He's a very mild-mannered, soft-spoken individual. No, I can't find it. He made one about JSG a little bit, but I tell you, the guy just doesn't. He doesn't strike me as someone that's got a good grip on reality. But I'm not sure there's anything we can do about it. Hopefully, he just had a moment where he was so in love with 5th edition or 5.5 or whatever new D&D is that he just couldn't help himself. But it was weird. So, but yeah. I used to find him obnoxious, but now I don't. I don't think it's obnoxious. I find it ludicrous every time he speaks, and to the point of like, I don't know what's wrong with that dude, but something is seriously wrong with that guy. And I hope somebody can help him. Or, like I said, he's a fantastic actor and he's got us all going. I guess that's possible, but I don't think so. Max says he strikes him as someone who was too weird in school, had no friends, became hateful and self-loathing, lashed out to society, and masked his no self-esteem. Yeah, that's true. Thanks, Bruce. It's a Joe Remembers comment. Here's what Bruce said a while ago. Joe remembers shit he took on Tuesday after he watched Cannonball Run more vividly than he would self-remind to discuss anything JSG related. Yeah, Joe just has no use for that. Anything that guy has an opinion on. Yeah. Max says he's an a-hole, crazy a-hole, or he's a scared little guy inside that needs one friend. I know Double D had a guy on there, Mike something, that had been JSG's DM, and there's a podcast or a YouTube show with some guys that had JSG on him, and I on their show for a while, and then he was booted, a part of their group. I think he's just a weird person who's really taken D&D to be. See, if D&D is a religion to him, then something's up. So, I don't know. The fact that, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it just struck me as sad, and I just couldn't, having a lot of sympathy for him. I was like, he needs a little help. But right now he might think, oh, Randy, you're crazy. You're a bigot. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I can't help him. I don't know anything about those issues. I don't know what to do for him. I would suggest he start by putting his D&D books away and going out and do some other stuff. Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division says Nerdarchy. That was the YouTube channel. Used to have him on there, but he wouldn't be quiet about 4th Ed or over any other game. Okay, so that was back when 4th Ed was the D&D game. Well, he just follows along whatever Watts he does. He's as I said, a true believer. I know someone kind of like that. He's not to that, nowhere near that level, but he is mostly whatever Watsy poops out, he's down with. So, and hey, whatever, man. It makes it simple. I mean, I have to admit, there was a time I was that guy during 2nd edition and 3rd. Man, I was gobbling everything up. So, Max says he's the off guy that DM's supposed to watch out to keep their players safe from. Remember the nut jobs at EMU, Eastern Michigan University? I don't know what EMU is. I don't remember that. But yeah, I do too, Mac. I hope maybe he'll get some help and figure it out one day. But anyway. So Joe has left us. What else can I talk about? Something I've been doing recently. Martinson and I have been watching. Oh, hold on. Patrick's going to add a little JSG stuff here. He professes to be a Christian, yet he treats D&D with cultist zealotry. He's exactly the guy the Satanic Panic warned us we'd turn into. Yeah.
Garibay claims to be a Christian?
Yeah, he kind of does. I mean, I don't know. I think it's weird that he would be.
There's no way you can believe what he believes.
Well, you're talking about with the whole dimension stuff?
Yeah, no way.
He did imply that he actually believed the infinite staircase connected to our world.
Yeah. No, he didn't imply.
Did he say it?
He said it pretty plainly.
Okay.
So, yeah, the infinite staircase is a module, and in it, the backstory of the infinite staircase is that it connects all dimensions everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, therefore, in real life, our reality is connected to all things, all times.
Our man's got it from back in the day. Tom Hanks's character was literally him in some ways.
Oh.
He was him.
Okay, I guess I get that.
Oh, Cal's bringing in. He says JSG has also admitted he lies too, so don't take what he's. Really?
Either he has some developmental issues, or he's pretending.
Huh? Here's another one, Pat. I missed this one. He claims Jesus Christ, but also said Gygax told him through the Red Rocks that he's a planeswalker. Dude, maybe he is just.
He's got to be. It's got to be a persona.
Yeah, but it's got to be because, and he's one of those. It's like a train wreck, right? Sometimes I have to admit, J. Scott Garibay videos. Sometimes I watch them, but usually after someone says, "Oh, you can't believe what he said now," but I don't usually watch. I did there for a while. I'm like, I don't want to keep giving him any looks. Cal, I believe you, brother. He says,
Yeah.
OG Jim can. Yeah, I don't need corroboration. That's cool. I'm glad he can. I believe you. No reason not to believe you. I was just surprises me that. No, I guess it does. Well, that's weird. People just do weird stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People claim to be women who are not and get millions of followers. All right. Yeah. Mac Thompson says Max Liao was more Christian than Garibay. Yeah, I would believe that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So here's our last one then. I think a lot of videos are, and this is definitely 5e dominant. TTRPG news and review.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big topic of.
It's a big topic.
The big topic. You see it a lot. I know during third edition, you especially were glued to Ian World in the early days,
Yeah,
getting news. But I was too. You'd say, "Hey, have you
yeah,
seen Ian World yet?" And I'm like, "No, what's coming out?" That's kind of a thing. Um,
right.
I
Because at
I do
least at
watch
that
some of those.
point, the EN World News was just this is what we found out lately about third edition before third edition came out. That's really all it was.
Hmm.
And there was some discussion about how that stuff would work, but that's all. So that was cool. But but these days, everybody keeps talking about the newest edition of D&D, um, which I don't care about. Uh,
Yeah.
so a review or a industry news article about a new game that I've never heard of, I'll
Hmm.
be interested. I'll start watching it and figure out whether I need to keep watching it. So
Right.
it's a case by case basis.
Will it catch your attention more than like if you think about the list here? So RPG news, actual plays, character creation, game mastering suggestions, rules and mechanics. Will that catch your attention more than any of those?
Probably,
Probably.
probably.
For some
However,
because
it's
it's something in
instantly shut down when they're talking about the current version, especially when you got some doomsayer saying, "Have you heard about the latest scandal over at Wizards of the Coast?" I'm like, I don't care. I'm not buying their stuff. I started watching those, but it ended up just being the D&D is over. Why? Because of this, and I'm like, no, it's not.
that's like the gal that does is it Diversity and Dragons is Devil D. Dungeons and Discourse.
Yeah.
She has the same thumbnail
Uh-huh.
and like this is really it. This is really it. And it just and she kind of laughs, tongue in cheeks it, but she is clickbaiting it.
Yeah.
And she catches me, but it's still like, I don't know. I'm getting weary of her shtick too. Uh, what makes in a more broad sense, what makes one podcast better than the other? So if you're into news, or let's say you're into rules and mechanics, is it just cult of personality?
Maybe it's probably content whether you're going to like content or not. It's going to be based on probably two things: the presenter,
Right.
whether it's cult of personality or just to do
That's what I'm by that I
you
mean
have
someone's
some
personality.
you have some resonance with them,
Yeah.
or you like the content. Just because I find a lot of the content a little boring doesn't mean everybody's going to. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been playing role playing games for 40 years. It's going to be hard to get our attention
Yeah.
with a new game. Okay, I've seen 10 games like that. What's the thing about this game that is better than all the other games like it that's come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the newest OSR clone, it's going to have to really have something special about it, other than a reprint, essentially a reprint of the old rules, just rejiggered in some small way.
And I made a list. Just it's more for me than to necessarily talk about all of them, but for podcasts and YouTube shows that I am currently quote unquote watching, they're just on my list. I think I'm going to start pruning them heavy. Uh, I just don't. I don't. A lot of them I don't watch. I guess of the besides us, I will catch Nerd Cognito is more of a podcast, and Legion of Myth on the podcast. Usually, I don't watch their show as much. Listen to it. And Diversity and Dragons and Seth Skorkowski and Dungeon Craft. I mean, Professor Dungeon Master, as much as I find him annoying, much less so than Joe, I do like his podcast pretty well. He does seem to always just get up close and don't really, though he recently went after D&D a little bit, but he's always careful. He's never too harsh on him.
No, he knows where his bread is buttered.
Yeah, yeah. But he claims to be independent role playing, but
I'm sure, but he still knows where his bread is buttered, and that's fifth edition. And very soon, it's going to be the newest edition.
well, I
And
don't
he's
know.
going to probably switch over and make content about that because the fifth edition content is going to be okay for another year, maybe. But after that, everybody who's in the know is going to play the newest edition, and that's where the money on YouTube is going to be at.
Yeah.
And he will probably switch over. because his home game may not be that, or the one where he has his own Death Bringer, whatever it's called, grim and gritty 5e rules.
Yeah, it's still 5e.
Still 5e.
Yeah, he uses that moniker.
Yeah.
And I catch some of the guys, of course, here periodically, Bruce and Shadow. Sometimes I catch their shows.
Yeah.
I used to watch Tinkar's Tavern more. No reason I quit. I'm not mad at, Eric. He's a cool dude. Just don't watch as much. Do you watch any role-playing game podcasts or YouTube?
Or some now and again. I watched quite a bit of pundits, but he got annoying to me because he always introduces himself as the last boss or of the internet, whatever, and he laughs exactly the same way every time that I've watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is dumb. So, I mean, people have an introduction, but I mean, he laughs.
Yeah, Bruce. I thought it was just me. That's not why I quit. He says, I stopped watching Tinkar because he has too much Courtney on there. Not my favorite.
I don't know who that is. No, Tinkar, I know. Courtney, I don't.
This guy, I don't know his last name, but he's a weirdo leftist guy. Yeah, I don't watch him much anymore.
Yeah.
I think
if he introduced, this is me, I'm the final boss, blah, 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 and that was that'd be one thing. But he laughs almost exactly the same way every time.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
As
he
if
does
it's
his
funny
thing.
still.
He's got fans. I get it. And I'm sure if I was his books, I've still yet to read Lion and Dragon, I'm sure. And Joe's got the Gonzo something or other.
Yeah, I've got both of those.
I think I'm sure he's perfectly fine.
Yeah. It's just that's annoying.
It's just not my thing. That's not a personality I follow very easily. To be fair, a lot of things he says, at least as far as either politically or just in the gaming universe, I agree with him mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate the dude, but I just can't listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to be paring down my YouTube watching very soon. I've kind of been adding more comic book ones. I don't know why, because I'm not really wanting to collect, but I've been watching a few more. Fascinated by collection and collecting mentality. I learned something this past couple of weeks about there's comic books you collect, people that collect in slabs, and people that collect what they call raw. So just a bag and a board. And apparently raw collections are becoming more and more popular now.
What's a slab?
A slab is when they put you in when they get it graded by CGC or what's the other company? 9.2, 8.6.
Oh, so it's in that plastic case?
Hard case, yeah.
Yeah, hard plastic case.
Yeah.
So slab is in a bag and board. And slab is the plastic case. Which one is which again, Randy?
Slab is the hard plastic case, yeah.
And what's the other one?
They call it raw. They call it raw bag and board. Looks like Ultra's scooting out of here. Mac Thompson left a little while ago. We should have announced it. See you later, Ultra. It's getting late. I agree. He's going to call it a night, so it was cool. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to listen to some of the comic stuff. And I looked at there's some, it's not about comics.
So
here's
another issue with me and social media.
Yes.
So I've been kind of not on Facebook at all. And that's mainly because when I was a while back, I would over-engage in argumentative subjects. And or I would post something and we get almost no traction, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, what's the point in posting if no one's going to look at it or comment or even react? It's not a whine. It's a waste of time. So I'm not doing it. And then what would take a lot of time is on either Twitter or on Facebook when you have a back and forth with someone who you differ with. And there's never any real resolution. It's just, I'm right because of this. I'm right because of that. Oh, back. And it's not useful. It's not time well spent. I'd rather watch Shadow and Son said, catching up on 70s and 80s movies.
Mhm.
Instead, it's much more fulfilling than just arguing with somebody online for no one's benefit.
Sounds like Shadow and Son is getting fact checked all the time. He says Facebook hates him. He's not allowed to share more than one thing a day. That means he's doing something right.
Yeah, most likely.
Cal said something I think I agree with. I haven't caught many of them. He says he enjoys Pundit's latest live stream, but I'm his mod. Honestly, I've liked him better in the live stream than I have on his
The videos.
Yeah, he seems a little more. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see him interact a little more with people, but
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the point where I think I'm ready to pull away from the heavy watching in just one area and see if I can explore others or actually do something else. Reading is top on my list. I got comics I want to read and books I want to read, and I'm just and I've done that recently with Facebook. Got in 2 heated debates on Facebook with the whole Olympics thing, and then I also got on one with abortion probably 2 months ago on X with some person that was just everybody's just goalposts moving all the time. Like, I can hardly even follow you. I mean, this one person on the Olympics I called her, you are the mother of all goalposts changing. I mean, she would just never reply to what I'm saying except what about this, write me like 5 pages of text. And I said,
yeah, most likely though, it's a copy paste, especially with the Olympics. Everybody posted the exact same thing, the same picture and the same text content as well. It was either they post a subset of it or the whole thing. And it was, did you know Greek culture, this, that, and the other thing? And I'm like, okay, all you had to do was go copy and paste that. That's not really your opinion. So it was pointless. I responded to one person on that subject and got nonsense back because all he did was say a bunch of words that didn't really. He said a bunch of words about. He posted all that stuff. Well, I actually had back and forth with my wife and posted some stuff about. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, chromosomes.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of chromosome pairings. I'm like, you post a bunch of crap that doesn't have anything to do with genders.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anyway.
No, it doesn't, because his reply was, how is that not about gender? So, you can't really reason with people very well that are ideologically locked in. Yes. And it's the same if someone tells me that, Christ is not real. They're not going to be able to present me with anything that's going to change my mind.
No, you might as well just punt.
Right. So there's really no point.
Now, Patrick did learn something good in the Olympics. He learned that Australians can't break dance. That's a fact, dude. That was the dumbest display I've ever seen in my life.
Shouldn't even be an Olympic event. It's stupid.
No.
I mean, they already have something akin to that, but much better. It's called gymnastics.
Yeah. If
you want to see that kind of thing, but better, watch the gymnastics events. Because they have a couple of routines that they do to music, I believe. They have a floor routine.
Yeah.
And skating, like ice skating, right? Phenomenal coordination and all of that. And there's music, and it's nice, and it's absolutely not breakdancing, which shouldn't even be in the Olympics.
No. Our man makes a good point. He did hear about someone who changed their mind by reading a Facebook thread. I'm pretty sure it was a few years ago. Dude, I don't know. I need to just, I'm starting to feel a little, I used to say nothing ever. And then recently in the last 3 years, probably right around COVID, it became more difficult for me. And then there was a period where I was just looking, whatever somebody said, I would respond.
Yeah.
And then I got tired of fighting. And then the other day with the whole few weeks ago with the Olympics thing, it just made me so annoyed. And it wasn't even what you think. I was just saying, I won't go into it. It just wasn't even the point. So, but anyway,
Yeah. So because if you choose to engage, you're obviously very taken with your own opinion. So no one's going to change it for you on a Facebook post.
Tend to talk right past people a lot of times.
Yeah.
Sometimes I engaged with one young man about 3 years ago on the abortion debate, and he was a college kid, and he was very respectful and very well spoken. I don't think he made good arguments very often, but I could tell he wasn't just dismissing what I said out of hand, and I didn't, dismiss what he said. So that was, and in the end, I don't think we changed each other's mind, but we didn't. We're like, no reason to call names, because usually that's what I get. You start making any kind of, and they start calling you names, just bombarding you with names. So it's like, all right, dude. So that's
insults.
Telling me you can't debate without actually telling me you can't debate.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I think that's it. So basically, we come to the conclusion you should just listen and watch Biggest Geekus, because all the other podcasts blow.
That's precisely what we're saying.
Except all our friends that are here, all of yours are fabulous.
Yes. Everyone that we've talked about that we like, you're good.
Yes.
Now, this whole thing is about, it's very subjective. So
completely,
everybody likes what they like. We're like, yeah, we're old dudes. It's going to take a lot to, say something we haven't heard that's going to make us, get our attention.
Set in your ways much? Yes.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Big Geek Con too. We should talk about that a little bit before we get out of here, Joe. That's what are you doing? Are you talking
secret messages with the wife?
Talking to the producer?
Yeah. We're talking about diarrhea.
Oh, good topic. Sounds
so. I need to tell them to do the things.
Yes.
Is that what you were saying?
Well, we've already done that once, but I was saying Big Geek Con. I want to talk just a second about that.
Yeah, talk about Big Geek Con.
Did you notice I got a bunch of games up for the Horde Wars guys and for me?
Uh-huh.
The times were not going to shift. I made notes. Just know that if you look at the games on tabletop events, the times are off by an hour sometimes. It's just the way it's set up. Don't worry. They don't cost anything. We're going to do that. We got to figure out real quick if we're going to do any kind of pre-regging. Probably not. But
we're fine last time though.
That's how we're going to roll like this time too. Get the big boards up and do the thing. But it's September 20th to 22nd. We are right at a month. We're going to be doing some meetings in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Going to get some stuff hammered away. Come to the 4 Points by Sheraton Saginaw. Get your tickets on tabletop events and join us at Big Geek Con 2. How are we at on tickets, dude? Have our friends jumped in and bought a bunch of tickets yet?
I didn't look today, but last time I looked, it had no change.
No change. So 14, 15, 16 or so?
Well, 14, I think I said 14 before. I think it's actually 13 because I did a test buy to see how it would look, and it didn't take it away. So, yeah. So it's probably 13, not 14.
Okay. Arman says more RPG talk and less talk about other crap. Fair enough. I agree with that.
Yeah. So on that subject, I was thinking, how much of a episode would it take for us to talk about, and if it's even interesting to people, is who should be challenged when we play our game?
Yeah.
Or the character, or is that a distinction that's not valuable to make?
Oh, that's a can of worms, dude. Yeah, we can do that. We'll do that. Maybe even next week.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That'll be absolutely. I think that'll take up a podcast and a half.
Okay.
So our YouTube show and a half. All right. So Joe will have all the links there of videos and things that we talked about, the Dungeons and Diversity or Double D with JSG. I don't know if we had anything else. That might have been it.
That's the only link that you...
and all the links where you can give us money because, we like money.
Well, we can probably also, if you really want to, we could put in a Chat GPT thing.
I think that would
want to go.
I would like that to go to. Now, I am not condoning it. If you're taking courses anywhere, academic integrity is key. But outside of academia, use it, baby.
Shadow and Son says,
Oh, castle talk.
castles. Talk about castles. We
Ooh,
talked about
castles.
domains, but we didn't. I don't think we talked too
Specifically,
much about.
I have to admit, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to castles. If you're wanting to go classic or just usage in a fantasy game, and yeah, I've read some good articles on that. We could do a little smack talking on castles.
How castles really were is less interesting to me than how we can use them in the game.
I read an article back in
Cool.
the day about castle. We'll save it for the castle
Yeah.
discussion. So, Shadow wants to join us on that one. We might have to pull him in. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Anything else, Joe? Or are you ready to bug out of here? The chat's been lively tonight.
It has been, and I am.
Okay, then. Well, this is Randy.
And this is Joe.
Remember, if you can't be big like us, then be geeks like us.